Hi, this is Sharon Gauthier from Patient Advocate for You. We're doing our weekly show for information and education for the public. Our independent nursing practice is involved with seniors, and I had decided that it would be great to provide an educational series on a monthly basis and information that seniors would be interested in, and things that we have found to be an issue through the years as we've been in practice for 10 years. So today I am honored to have a gentleman by the name of Paul Feeney. How are you?
Very good, Sharon. Thank you for having me today.
Oh, you're welcome. So Paul owns a company called October Kitchen. It's kind of interesting how he came about to developing this company, but my interest in him is the fact that he does meals, prepared meals that people can get, particularly for the seniors. And you're very unique. There isn't anyone else I know of that really provides as much as you do to the population we're talking about. So tell me a little bit about how you got started in this.
Well, Sharon, I started October Kitchen about 17 years ago to get out of the restaurant business and to be able to hang out my shingle and do something on my own. And for the first 10 years, I was a personal chef. I cooked for private clients in their own homes. And that was wonderful, but my dance card got full, and I could only cook for as many people as there were days of the week.
Yep.
And at that point, I decided that I needed to expand. And my family came into a situation where my grandmother was starting to decline a little bit. She ended up falling and not being able to get up a couple of times, and actually moved in with my parents, who were still working but semi-retired. Mm-hmm. And they were struggling with getting meals together for themselves and for my grandmother. And I started making stuff for them on the side, and that turned into, well, could you help out Carol and her mom, Mary?
Yep.
And,
yep.
you know, and John just got out of the hospital with a hip replacement, so he needs help. And we started out from doing it for friends and family, and grew from 3 to 6 to 9 to 12 to 15 to now over 3,000 customers throughout the greater Hartford area that we deliver to on a regular basis.
Wow, I didn't realize you had that many.
We've got a huge roster.
Yeah.
And they're...
Now, are they mostly seniors, or is that you cook for a multitude of different people?
Seniors and boomers are the majority of my clientele. We do have a lot of busy families, you know, younger folks or people who don't cook, can't cook, shouldn't cook. But really, we cater to the seniors who have, you know, a higher level of nutritional needs, a higher level of services that they need. Because, very honestly, the seniors and boomers are the ones that need great food to be able to keep them strong, to be able to keep, you know, their medications working, to keep them energized, keep their metabolisms up. And very often they will end up, you know, being undernourished or even malnourished. There's an epidemic of malnourished seniors out there right underneath our noses because they simply, it's a lot of work to go out and shop.
Right.
It's a lot of work to do all the cooking. And what happened with my grandmother was she wasn't hungry because she wasn't eating.
Right.
She wasn't hungry because it was too much work to cook for just one. It's just me,
yeah.
You know? And then they end up, you know, simply living off of, you know, carbohydrates, you know, the cookies and milk diet, and, you know, eventually, and you can do that for a while, but
it catches up to you.
It catches up to you, and if you're not getting enough protein, you got muscular atrophy, and we don't want to have that happen. You know, I take care of a lot of folks and have a lot of, you know, adult children who are worried about their parents, you know, busy themselves, and we provide a service to them to say, bring food to my dad, make sure that he's eating. Bring food to my mom and dad. They're having a hard time, and it's become my mission is to keep these people, you know, happy, healthy, and looking forward to their deliveries every single week.
So what started out as being meals for family and then extended out to their friends and beyond that. probably didn't really start out with specific diets in mind. You were basically making the foods that somebody was interested in eating. But then you've now evolved into have nutritionists involved with you, correct?
Yeah, I've got a nutritionist on staff. He's a J&W grad like myself, and he helps us with the nutritional engineering of all of our recipes. This is not just me whipping up food and delivering it out. We have very specific recipes. We follow specific recipes. We do everything with less salt, less fat, less sugar. You can always add it. You can't take it out.
Right.
And we pride ourselves on having a healthy home style menus. And I always say, my mom should be able to look at this menu and recognize everything on there and be able to choose, several different things every single week that would be great for her. We don't get too fancy and carried away. I did that a long time ago when I was, in the fine dining, high-end restaurant scene. But now I cook for these folks the way that I like to eat, the way that they like to eat. And using professional techniques, a little bit of added technology with some of the equipment that we have, and the design and setup of our recipes so that they are nutritionally balanced, so that the sodium is below 600 or 500 milligrams per portion, that the potassium we can get down for our renal friendly meals, that the carbs we can keep down for our diabetic friendly meals. We make those choices, and so that whatever our clients' choices need be, they can't make a bad choice. It's always going to be something that's going to be healthy and good for them. Unless it's the chocolate chip cookies. I draw the line there at the chocolate chip cookies. Those are
I like the real crispy one,
they are the real deal, and I just started making some oatmeal dried cherry white chocolate crunch cookies with Rice Krispies in them.
Oh my gosh, that sounds really good.
They're terrible. You should not have those.
So tell me, how do you get 3,000 meals out? That's a pretty hefty number.
Oh gosh, a little bit of the technology side of it as a chef is we have probably one of the greatest pieces of cooking equipment on the face of the planet, a Combitherm, which is a steamer, an oven, a grill, an oil-free fryer, a actually artificially intelligent, computer-controlled cooking system that I had specially made for us from Denmark and brought over. So we can steam, we can sear, we can saute, 20 pans worth of stuff simultaneously. It's a lot of firepower that allows us to do what we do. We've got an Italian shock freezer blast chiller. So we take all the hot food that's prepared at the peak of readiness and then take it from piping hot, run it right down to ice cold in a very rapid amount of time so that we have extended shelf life, so that we locked in the flavor and the moisture, and then everything is weighed out, portioned, and hermetically sealed with a heat sealing, film seal machine that we'll push out thousands of individual pieces every single day, and you'll see everything that we put out. Every one of those products has the name, the date on it, the nutrition on it, the ingredient list.
I'd love to come into your kitchen sometimes and watch you guys work.
Oh,
I bet it's fascinating. Probably organized chaos.
It's a bit of a whirlwind.
Yeah.
And you should see when our trucks hit the road, and we cover all the way from Simsbury down to Middletown, Cromwell, Newington, New Britain, up to Granby. We cover a great deal of distance. There's need everywhere, and
your website is very user-friendly. I found when I went on it that you can actually go in every week and order the menu that you want to order. So that process is pretty good. So talk to me a little bit about quantities. So is there a minimum someone has to buy from you, or can someone have 3 meals a week that they want from you on a regular basis? Does it have to be 3 meals a day, 7 days a week?
Yeah, it's very simple. To begin with, you can stop in our shop. We're right on Green Road in Manchester in the Blue Duck Plaza. And we've got a full retail storefront where all of the fresh and all the frozen prepared entrees are. You can come in and grab one thing or, load up the basket.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, if you just need meals for a night or two or a week or whatever. But the majority of our business is delivery. So we like to have at least a $30 or $40 minimum to be able to send a delivery out. And everything will go out in our refrigerated boxes, wrapped with ice blankets and an insulated chest. And it's kind of, you want to think of it like the milkman. You remember the milkman in the days gone by.
That used to deliver the milk. Yep.
Used to deliver the milk. Well, this is our bottles are our boxes, and our boxes we recycle and reuse. So our guys will deliver it right to your doorstep, and or bring it in the house if you need a little assistance with it, whatever works out for you. And you just put it in the refrigerator, put it in the freezer, follow the reheat instructions, and you can order. Unlike like a Meals on Wheels, where it's a daily volunteer type of thing, we do once a week. So we're going to be coming to your house, on Tuesdays. And if you have an order for that Tuesday, we'll be there on that Tuesday. You do not have to get an order every single week. It's not like the Book of the Month Club where we're going to send you something if you don't want it, unless you respond by that. You have to place an order, and you can order on the website or on paper, and you can order out, a month ahead of time. So all your choices are locked in. But what makes us different is, unlike a restaurant or something, a restaurant has a fixed menu.
Right.
And that menu doesn't change but, a season or a year or whatever. Well, we actually have 3 menus. We've got one menu that is always available, and that's really our comfort foods, our single servings that our seniors.
Meatloaf, chicken pot pie.
Yep,
all those comfort foods.
Spaghetti and meatballs, eggplant parm, chicken parmesan. We do them nice so that they are, healthier for you than what's traditionally out there. And, the portion is accurate. It's not huge because you'd be surprised, what a real portion actually looks like. A
much
food.
less than what you get in the restaurant, I'm sure.
Well, it's accurate and it's filling, and that a lot of our customers will tell us it's perfect for us. It's just what we want. Some of our seniors probably can get 2 meals out of it. Because
they don't eat as much.
Yeah. And then every month I'll change the menu, and we'll have frozen prepared gourmet favorites. So these are little ones that I get to play around with and kind of kick it up a notch and make a little bit fancier meals. So we'll do some different fresh fish, or I have like next month's going to be an Italian stuffed flank steak. We do a bunch of vegetarian and a few vegan items along the way. But then really the big portion of our menu is our weekly specials. Every week we have all fresh specials, and we'll do 5 different entrees. We'll always do a different chicken and a beef or a pork or a turkey, a vegetarian or a seafood, different soup, different salad. We'll bake our own muffins and desserts, and we sell, that's that's the majority of our stuff. So you can do fresh and frozen, and the single servings, you can mix and match, you can do a la carte. So if you need, 3 or 4 meals a week, and maybe throw in a soup and a salad and a bag of cookies, perfect. That's a great order for you. We'll deliver it right to you. Or, we've got families that will order, 5 family-size entrees just for them. We do family-size entrees, which is like 4 portions, or twin-size entrees, which is like 2 portions and singles. Depends on, what our customers like. Could I eat a twin-size portion myself? Yeah, of course I could. I'm a big guy, and a single serving is perfect for my wife. Flexible, mix and match.
So is it just lunch and dinner?
Basically lunch
just lunch and dinner.
I find breakfast foods are kind of hard, and to do
you can't
eggs
get
or
breakfast.
frittatas or everybody can handle their own oatmeal or eggs and that sort of thing. But I thrive upon getting the good fresh vegetables into folks. And we found that seniors actually need a little bit more protein than was previously thought. They have a harder time metabolizing it. So what might have been traditionally 2 ounces of protein, we'll do 3.5 ounces, 4 ounces of protein, because they need that higher amount of protein to keep their muscle mass up and their bone density up, and and we make great choices for them in terms of not having stuff be fatty or high in carbohydrates for them. So they've always got nice, easy choices to make, and they thrive on it.
So when you and I had lunch before we came here, one of the things we were talking about is going to be some of your newer menus that you're going to be doing that are specific to a disease state, which I think is awesome, especially being a registered nurse. I understand the need for someone to have a heart-friendly diet. I see diabetic-friendly, wheat-free, sodium-sensitive. I love the terms on here. Vegetarian people. So vegetarian and vegan, is that two separate things?
Two separate things.
Yeah, because I see that both here. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Renal friendly, which is for people who are on dialysis. You and I had spoken about that. Garlic free, which kind of surprised me, but some people don't like garlic.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah. And dairy free. People are much more cognizant about dairy now. I know I'm very limited in taking in dairy than what I was years ago, and I drink almond milk at home now rather than regular milk. But differentiate between vegetarian and vegan, because I was surprised to see the two different topics.
Straight vegetarian is just going to have no animal product, no fish or fowl or meat, pork. They may be lacto-ovo in terms of they may have dairy, cheese or ovo would have eggs in them. The vegan is going to have none of that. So like on my menu right now, I have a vegan chicken pot pie, which, how do you have a vegan chicken pot pie?
Exactly, yeah.
Well, let me tell you, there's the crust is actually a nice sort of a medium thick phyllo crust. We wrap the filling in,
Yep.
and we make our own vegetable stock. We make all of our own stocks in-house, from vegetable to beef and chicken and
Yep.
turkey, and saute our vegetables down, and then we actually have a soy chicken strip that we use. That's actually we found it's a pretty darn good, tasty, passable a piece of protein, and we will hydrate those and flavor it in with all of the rest of the vegetables.
Yep.
And a little bit of aromatic herbs, and son of a gun if that thing doesn't fly off the shelves.
Really?
Yeah,
Not
it's
funny.
crazy. I got a lot of demand out there for some hardcore vegans out there that wanted to have options. But our vegetarians, like my mother-in-law is a vegetarian. I've always got to have something on her because she gets a delivery every single week.
Exactly, yeah.
She's a special order. She's a gluten-free vegetarian, so I try to make sure that I've got a few options on for her as well. But there's a lot of people who have chosen that way of life, or it works for them because of their particular health concerns. And
How about allergies? Because I was thinking that people are allergic to like nuts and stuff. Do you ever get any?
We've been a nut-free kitchen since day one.
Oh, you have?
We have, and it's one of those things. When I was a personal chef, I had a large amount, I don't say a large amount, but I had a handful of my customers who were nut-free.
Right.
And I've just carried on that tradition. So we will use either sunflower seeds instead, or pumpkin seeds instead. If I'm making a pesto or something along those lines, I'll use those. Soy nut butter instead of peanut butter. And I just don't bring it in. There's never been any peanut oil in the place, and we strictly...
So you don't have to worry about that.
So you don't have to worry about
Yeah.
that. It's just one more thing that folks don't have to worry about, and I take it as a challenge as a chef to be able to still put stuff together that's delicious and tasty, and you don't even know. Although I do like my almonds and things personally myself, but I just find it's easier that way. We just recently started the process of converting all of our recipes over from canola oil to rice bran oil. It's a little bit better for you. It has more vitamin E, and it has a better balance of omega-3, 6, and 9. It's less processed in terms of how it's extracted, and it's more easily metabolized oil. So little things, just we keep nudging the food a little bit healthier, a little bit healthier, a little bit healthier. Not to say that it's, that's what we thrive upon, but like I said, I'm here about keeping people strong and healthy and making sure that any choice they make is going to be a good
it's
choice.
a better choice. Now, with the holidays, do you still get orders, and do you fill orders for the holidays? Because Easter is Sunday, and Passover was this week.
Passover, was this week. We will do a big Thanksgiving catering job for people. We'll do Thanksgiving in a box. We'll do the whole turkey and everything. We're not doing Easter this year. It was just one of those things that it didn't happen, but I am doing, I'm making pies for a few dozen folks that my traditional Italian grandmother, Italian ricotta pie, because they loved it and there was demand for that.
Yeah.
But really stick to our knitting, and I don't like to get drawn into a lot of side projects because it takes away the focus from what our bread and butter is, which is our meal preparation services and the delivery service. Catering's fun, but my kitchen is so busy with everything that we're producing and putting out that catering kind of grinds the gear sometimes.
Does anybody else do what you do? Because I'm really not aware of other companies that provide as much as you do to the seniors.
There are a couple of companies out there that will deliver right to the home frozen prepared meals out of a central location that's like a national ordering service.
Right.
But then, you're talking about big styrofoam cooler boxes and lots of shipping fees and that sort of stuff. Nobody's doing a fresh weekly delivery right to the doorstep like we are.
And is there an extra charge for delivery?
Yeah, delivery, there's a fee for delivery. If you're, the closer you are to a shop, it's $6, and the outer ring is $8, and then if you're outside that ring, it's $10.
And your meals all run, you were saying, like $7.50 a meal,
basically you're looking about $7.50 a portion.
which is very reasonable, considering what you're getting, and it's being brought to you in your home.
Yeah.
Can't get any better than that.
I always thought of it this way: a half a loaf is better than none. I want to be able to provide a service where customers can be like, I could afford this, I could do this for the rest of my life. This is a certain a service or amenity that makes sense for me. Whether it's you don't have the time to cook, whether you don't have the ability to cook, kitchen.
And sometimes it's not the cooking, it's the shopping. It's not just cooking the meal that I think is difficult, especially for seniors. It's the shopping piece of it that's difficult for them too, because a lot of them may not be driving anymore. They could get Peapod, but then you're asking someone who's elderly to go online and be able to order Peapod, which they can't do. So I think it's a combination of the cooking and being able to go out and shop for the stuff and then drag it in the house. And I don't do any shopping and cooking, thank goodness. But and I'm actually thinking I should do your service to get what I want to eat, because my husband tends to just cook what he wants and then I'll just eat whatever. But
a lot of folks will just use the service as a backstop.
Yeah.
A lot of my younger folks or my career folks are like, we love to cook, we love to go out to eat, but we've got to eat every night out of the week,
Yep.
And there's always the nights that you come home, so you had a meeting late, work went late, it's 8 o'clock at night, and there's food in there, but who wants to break out pans and start chopping and sauteing?
Do you cook at home?
No.
You don't cook at home?
I make all my meals ahead of time for me, and I know, what works for me and with my routine, and I'm happy with that. My wife doesn't even cook at home. We'll entertain. We have friends over, and we'll put on a dinner party every now and again. But other than that, I mean, my refrigerator has coffee and half in it, and October kitchen food,
Which is good enough for you.
Yeah.
Are you open 365 days a year?
We are not. We're open Monday through Friday, and in May we'll be adding Saturday hours as well for the retail location. The online location, the octoberkitchen.com is open 24/7. You can place orders there. You can sign up to become a customer. And like you said, there's a lot of folks out there who are not too technically savvy, would do that. Don't let that be an impediment to you. We're a phone call away. We've got plenty of customers that do everything on paper. We put the ordering sheets right in the delivery boxes so that, they can fill out what they want. When we pick up the box,
Oh, you can pick up the order.
we pick up the order right with it. So we've got a little system. When it goes out,
Yeah.
it's got the order for 2 weeks ahead. When we go pick it up, it's got that order for the coming week. So it always works. So you've got it on paper. If you don't do the computer, you can just put your name on, say this, that, and the other thing. Or, if people fax it in, they just email us.
Yep.
Phone call. And we've got kids from California that are, just take care of mom and dad and attach my credit card to the thing,
Exactly,
and
which is
we're
really nice
just
to
happy
do.
to have them taken care of, because they're out of state or far away, but they can't be there. And you'll see, like next week, we'll get a bunch of calls because the kids came home for Easter.
Yep.
They saw mom and
Yeah,
dad.
and it's like, oh my God.
And they're like, what is going on here? We need to do something about this because they're not in a really great spot. And
Yeah.
who's out there for us? Let us take care of them because, my drivers are the tip of the spear. They love to, chat with all the customers and check up on
And
them.
how many drivers do you have?
I've got four. I've got a roster of four. A couple of retired post letter carriers. They love it, and a retired fireman, and a guy who was at one point in his career was a retired floral delivery guy. So
Oh my gosh. So they all love being on the road.
yeah, they're all retired guys. It's a perfect part-time job for them, and they've all got the gift of gab, and they check up on all our customers and keep tabs on them.
That makes it nice. So it really becomes a family to them too, and it's someone checking in on them. I mean, as a family member, for me, if I was living out of state and I had my mom or dad here, for me it would be like that one person that goes in once a week, knocking on the door. Nobody answers. Oh, gee, what's going on? Or somebody shows up and they got a big bump in their head. So now I'm sure the stories just go on and on like they do with us.
Yeah, you're preaching to the choir.
Yeah, exactly. So in our last couple of minutes, just to let you know, we're going to put this information on our website.
Great.
I think what you do is fabulous. You were talking to me a little bit about the prom that you were doing every year, but this year you're doing Sadie Hawkins. You wanna talk-
Sadie Pawkins.
Sadie Pawkins.
Well, here's the thing. We've always done a senior prom. The last couple of years, we did our senior prom for our seniors.
Yeah, what a great idea.
In Manchester.
Yeah.
And our seniors come out and they get dressed up, and we put on a dinner
How
and a
did you
dance.
come up with an idea like that?
It was just, it kind of came to me that we wanted to do something as a give back
Yeah.
to our customers and the community. In Manchester, the Manchester Area Conference of Churches, which we donate to, product. We've got, overproduction, we'll send it to them. And a few years ago, their freezers went down. And I know Ben, who's the chef there, and they lost everything in their freezer. They need like a few $1,000s to fix it. And I was like, geez, this is ridiculous. So they became our charity that year, and we partnered with the East Catholic, and the kids came out and helped and served, and we decorated, and we had a DJ, and had a great time. We had a couple hundred people show up for it.
Wonderful.
Last year we did it for Parkinson's disease,
Yep,
Connecticut
I
Parkinson's
remember that,
Disease
yep.
Association, and this year this struck me. I saw something go by about senior animals, senior pets that are looking for homes.
Yep.
And I said, I know what it's like to deal with the loneliness that's out there
Yep.
with a lot of our folks,
Yep.
and that's heartbreaking. And I know how much my dog and my cat.
Oh my gosh, please.
Yeah.
I have 3 dogs and a cat.
And
A great idea to pair senior animals with seniors.
And I said, there's seniors out there that aren't, they're not interested in a puppy or a kitten,
Yeah.
but these senior cats and dogs out there that, they're just looking for a lap.
Perfect idea.
And
Yeah.
so
I'd love to help you with that.
We're working on the details and planning for it this fall, but we want to make a few love connections
Yep.
out there, And so it's going to be our Sadie Hawkins dance. It's probably going to be, Sadie Hawkins is on the 13th of November, so it's going to be the Saturday before then. And we'll do a dinner, and we'll have some animals.
Sounds like such a great idea. Like I said, we'd be happy to be one of the sponsors with that. Well, thank you
counting
for
on you.
coming on. I
Thanks so
appreciate
much,
it.
Sherry.
Yes, yeah, my pleasure. So thank you very much for watching Senior Moments. It's our monthly educational show, and we'll see you next month. Thanks a lot.